The world of home decorating is crowded with well-intentioned pieces that quietly sabotage your style. They're everywhere, and in this video, we're looking at those impulse buys, trendy fillers, and sentimental holdovers that keep your home from feeling truly polished. I know that taste is personal, of course, but if you're ready for a space that looks effortlessly elevated, it's time to be selective. Nostalgia can be comforting, but it isn't always chic. So stay with me until the end, because you may discover it's time to let go of a few familiar favorites. Posters without frames. Posters taped to the wall or stuck with pins never read as intentional. They feel like college dorm leftovers. I see the charm in something casual and effortless, but even the most beautiful print deserves a proper frame to give it structure and presence. A simple black or brass frame, or even a natural wood one, will instantly turn something flimsy into something gallery-worthy. Unframed art also tends to age a room. It suggests something unfinished, like you just moved in or haven't quite decided on your style. Framing is less about spending a fortune and more about showing you value what's on your walls. Even affordable prints look like treasures when they're treated with a bit of respect. When you start framing your art, you'll notice your entire space feels more cohesive and finished. And don't be afraid to mix frame styles. Just keep them slim and elegant so the artwork remains the star. Speaking of small details that make a big impact, tiny scatter rugs. A rug that's too small makes your furniture float like lifeboats in the middle of the room. It chops up your space and can actually make it feel smaller. The rule of thumb? Your area rug should be big enough that at least the front legs of your sofa or chairs sit on it. Or better yet, anchor the entire seating area. I understand the temptation to downsize. Smaller rugs are cheaper and easier to manage, but they rarely do a room justice. If the budget is tight, try layering. Place a large, affordable natural fiber rug underneath and top it with a smaller patterned or vintage one for character. It's a trick designers use to create scale without overspending. Area rugs define a room, ground your furniture, and add warmth underfoot. Choosing a generously sized rug doesn't just look more polished, it also feels more inviting. And while we're talking about lighting and warmth, fussy lamps. Yes, stained glass is beautiful, but Tiffany-style lamps can feel fussy, dated, or like they belong in a themed bar stuck in the 80s. They often cast a dim, uneven glow, not exactly the kind of light you want for reading or relaxing. Luckily, lighting has evolved. You can find endless options, from sleek brass table lamps to sculptural ceramic bases, that add elegance without the heavy visual weight. If you've been holding on for sentimental reasons, consider relocating it to a corner or replacing it altogether. Which brings me to another trend that seems charming, but usually falls flat. Faux brick wallpaper. Faux brick panels or wallpaper rarely fool anyone. Instead of adding texture, they add an oddly flat, artificial feel. Real brick is wonderful, but a printed sheet trying to mimic brick? It just looks like it's trying too hard. If you love the look of a textured wall, try lime wash paint, plaster finishes, or peel and stick panels that add real depth. The goal is warmth and character, not an imitation. And while we're at it, let's talk about another imitation that deserves to retire. Plastic fruit decor. Those perfect glossy apples in a bowl? They're gathering dust, not compliments. Plastic fruit feels dated and lifeless, and no one's ever been fooled by it. Instead, go for a real fruit bowl or a sculptural centerpiece. Even an empty ceramic dish looks more sophisticated. Styling your kitchen or dining table doesn't have to mean pretending your grapes will stay fresh forever. Now, let's talk about words on walls. Overused word art. Live, laugh, love. You've seen it 1,000 times, and so has everyone else. Word art was meant to be inspiring, but when it's mass-produced and hung in every home, it starts to feel generic instead of personal. If you love quotes, try commissioning a handwritten piece from Etsy or framing your favorite lines in a minimal print. Art should reflect you, not a department store aisle. And while we're curating your walls, let's make sure what's hanging there really tells your story. Generic wall prints. If mass-produced word art feels impersonal, the same goes for artwork that pops up in every other home on Instagram. When a print is everywhere, it stops being meaningful and starts to feel like a decor filler, a placeholder instead of a reflection of who you are. Your walls should tell your story, not echo someone else's shopping cart. Instead of reaching for the same trendy canvas everyone else has, look for pieces that feel personal. A vintage sketch you rescued from a flea market, a painting you discovered while traveling, or even photography from a local artist whose work you admire. These are the touches that give a room texture and soul, making it feel collected rather than staged. Even affordable art can feel one of a kind when you choose pieces that genuinely resonate with you. It's about creating an environment that reflects your experiences, not just following what's popular online. And since we're talking about layers of personality, the next one isn't on your walls at all. It's hiding underfoot. Linoleum sheet flooring. Linoleum may have been practical once, but it tends to yellow, curl at the edges, and look tired fast. It's one of those features that dates a space instantly. The good news? Vinyl planks, laminate, or even painted hardwood floors can update a room on a budget. A flooring upgrade has a huge impact on your overall design, and it's one you'll feel every single day. By the way, quick question. Which one of these items have you already ditched, and which one do you secretly still have at home? Drop it in the comments. I'm curious to see how many of us are holding on to these old favorites. All right, from the floor to the bookshelf. Fake books as props. Stacking decorative books that don't open might look clever, but it feels hollow, literally and stylistically. Real books, even if they're secondhand, add soul and texture to a room. If you need something sleek, use linen-covered storage boxes or decorative trays instead. They serve the same purpose without pretending to be something they're not, which leads us straight into another fast and fake category. Throwaway fast furniture. Flat pack furniture is inexpensive and easy to assemble, but it rarely lasts and almost never looks special. It's the home equivalent of fast fashion, quick, disposable, and forgettable. Instead, try thrifting, antiquing, or refinishing pieces. Older furniture often has better craftsmanship and a story to tell. You'll save money in the long run and create a home with true character. And while we're upgrading, let's address one of the loudest offenders in design: noisy vertical blinds. They clatter in the breeze, they collect dust, and they're nearly impossible to clean. Plus, they leak light and add a harsh, dated feel to any window. Vertical blinds also have a way of making a room feel more like an office than a home. If replacing them isn't an option right away, even swapping them out for inexpensive curtains on a simple rod can make an instant difference. It's a small upgrade with a surprisingly big impact on the overall atmosphere. Roman blinds, roller shades, or layered sheer curtains are softer, quieter, and far more elegant. Your windows deserve to be treated better. They frame every room. Next up, a trend that's been steering off course for years. Nautical overload decor. Anchors, sailor rope, seashells. Unless you live on an actual boat, this is one theme best left at sea. Nautical motifs feel kitschy and obvious rather than chic and coastal. If you love beachy vibes, stick to soft sandy tones, airy blues, and textures like driftwood or linen. You'll still capture the ocean's beauty without turning your living room into a souvenir shop. While we're on lighting again, harsh Edison bulbs. Exposed filament bulbs once felt trendy, but now they're everywhere, and they cast an unflattering orange glow. They're more hipster cafe than cozy home. They also create harsh shadows and eye strain when used as the main source of light, making a space feel more like a workshop than a living room. A thoughtful lighting plan, mixing overhead fixtures, floor lamps, and table lamps, adds depth and makes any room far more inviting. Swap them for shaded pendants, globes, or chandeliers with dimmers. Good lighting should make you and your room look beautiful. And that's not the only thing we've outgrown from the 90s. Heavy damask wallpaper. Damask was once a symbol of luxury. Now it feels like a time capsule from decades past. Its dark, busy pattern overwhelms modern interiors. If you crave pattern or texture, opt for grass cloth, tone-on-tone prints, or even a subtle mural. Your walls should set a mood, not trap you in another era. Speaking of eras that need retiring, multi-purpose mason jars. What started as a charming farmhouse touch became overdone fast. Jars as soap dispensers, candle holders, even salad containers. It's time to let them go back to holding preserves. Today, artisan ceramics, glass vases, and handmade vessels feel fresh and authentic. They elevate the simplest flowers or candles, adding real craftsmanship to your space. And now, let's talk about something far less charming. Plastic-wrapped furniture. This old habit of preserving furniture in plastic is uncomfortable, noisy, and visually unappealing. Instead of protecting your investment, it hides it. Use slipcovers or treat fabrics with a modern stain-resistant spray. Furniture is meant to be enjoyed, not shrink-wrapped like leftovers. And while we're on the subject of excess, fern overload decor. Indoor plants are beautiful, but an army of ferns in every room feels more like a greenhouse than a home. In the 90s and early 2000s, ferns took over, but let's not repeat that. Mix different plant varieties, sizes, and textures for a balanced look. A curated selection feels fresh, not crowded. Still with me? We're at number 17, and I bet at least one of these has popped up in your own home. Dated window valances. Valances and swags frame windows in a heavy, old-fashioned way. They shorten the appearance of windows and block light. Full-length drapery or tailored shades create clean, generous lines. They let the light pour in and make ceilings feel taller. Still with me? Good, because while we're editing the windows, let's peek at the bar area. Empty bottle displays. Keeping pretty liquor bottles as decor feels cluttered rather than stylish. Unless you're building a full bar display, they just read as leftovers. If you can't bear to part with a particularly beautiful bottle, repurpose it. Tall bottles make elegant single-stem vases. Small ones can hold olive oil or bubble bath, and clear bottles can be turned into charming string light lanterns. Giving them a second life keeps your space personal without looking messy. Arrange your bottles neatly on a tray or cart, and recycle the empties. A curated bar setup looks intentional, not accidental, which leads us to the very top of the list, literally above your head. Popcorn ceilings. Not technically decor, but they dominate any room they're in. Popcorn ceilings trap dust, cast unflattering shadows, and make a space feel older than it is. A skim coat or ceiling panels can smooth things out beautifully. Updating this one feature instantly makes your home look cleaner, brighter, and more modern. Editing your home is just as important as decorating it. Removing what no longer serves your style makes space for what truly reflects you. If you're ready for more ways to create a refined, effortless home, watch this next video.